for Chris Brown on the kick. And good from 24 yards. Fires. They scored 29 points in the quarter. Consider that Auburn scored the most this year against Auburn. Auburn scored the most against Florida, 38. Tennessee scored 37. Nebraska scored 35 in one half of action. There's not much that shakes up Steve Spurrier, but maybe this. Let's go to Michelle Tafoya.
All right, with Coach Spurrier, and you said that pass protection was going to be key. How do you give it to Danny Werfel?
Michelle, we're just getting clobbered right now. Hopefully we can try to do something to make a game out of it, but we're getting beat pretty bad all the way around.
Down 25, you haven't been down this far all season. How do you get your team emotionally back on track?
Well, we're going to keep playing hard, and hopefully something good will happen. See what happens. We'll hopefully keep throwing it around a little bit, and hopefully can pass block.
Thanks, Coach. Let's send it over to Michael Barkan.
All right, Michelle. Coach, your game plan obviously working. Did you make any adjustments at all after they got their 10 points on the board? Because you're just exploding.
No, it's athletes. It isn't game plan. We're just playing well. And we got some speed and got some guys who can play. But, Florida's got a very explosive football team. And we got a half to go. So we're not out of this thing yet. But so far we played well.
Your big flurry began after you got the safety. Were you surprised that they went with 5 wideouts on their own goal line?
Oh, I don't know. That's their business, and we just got to do what we got to do. But we're playing hard, and I'm really proud of our defense. So far, they played great football.
All right, Coach. Thanks, Jim.
Certainly been in sync on offense as Nebraska, and as Steve Spurrier said, hey, we got to find a way to protect our quarterback. As you said, Terry, right from the start, it hasn't happened. Nebraska leads 35-10. I want his defense to make a big stop here. 3rd down 6. Good fake. That throws Florida. Hands open. Clester Johnson down to the 16, 17-yard line. 3rd and 8. The 8th play of the drive. And they've had the football already for 5 minutes. Frazier for the end zone and intercepted. Now the Gators. First 3 possessions. Now, take into consideration that was all in the first quarter, these 3 possessions. And then nothing. 5 receivers in the game. 3rd down, 15. Look out. Farley. Werfel never had a chance. Dumped them at the 6. As we look at the numbers here in this game summary, Terry Donahue, what were you expecting for Florida rushing figures tonight? We knew they wouldn't stack up with Nebraska.
Well, Jim, in talking to Steve Spurrier and his staff, they really didn't feel they could run the ball very well on Nebraska. No one has all season. They shouldn't have expected to.
Frazier not missing any action. And taken care of. In fact, he's going to tuck it under. Look at this. Running.
Jim, this is the quarterback draw, and Tommy Frazier breaks it outside, gets a great crack block by the wide receiver, and uses his speed down the sideline.
That's just put up these enormous numbers, and he got an operator like Tommy Frazier, but the offensive line, always a huge trademark in this program.
The best in the country, Jim. You're looking at Aaron Graham, one of the all-time great centers in Nebraska history.
Okay, well, probably going to be a second-team All-America. Let's put him on the team. They know. Phillips, look at the pass. Reggie Ball was wide open. Game plan, wouldn't it? Looking for a little more trickery. Back to Riedel Anthony. And defenders everywhere. Christian Peter and Grant Wistrom. 2nd down and 14. Werfel. Picked off again. Intercepted. Eric Stokes giving it back to the Cornhuskers with 4 minutes and change remaining 3rd quarter. Frazier. Danny. Phillips takes it outside. Saw that it was shut down where it was intended to go and picks up another nice piece of yardage there. 11 yards. 2nd and 10. And again, they give him a new look. We've seen this only 2 other times tonight. 5 receivers, quarterback draw, Tommy Frazier. Goodbye, Tommy Frazier with a touchdown.
Crazy, this guy.
Look at this. And Spurrier just despondent.
They spread them out across the field just like Florida did, but they run the quarterback draw with Tommy Frazier. Great block by the right guard, Steve Ott, number 69.
They just spread them out with the 5 wides, and Frazier is over 100 yards. He has 120 yards on the night on the ground. And the Cornhuskers, Nebraska, just annihilating Florida.
I can't tell you how impressed I am with the entire Nebraska team, but particularly with Tommy Frazier and Lawrence Phillips and that offensive line.
2nd down and 8. That was
the number 2 team in the country, and don't forget it.
Werfel loading that gun and firing it long, and the ball is caught for a touchdown. Mike Hilliard.
Watch where this ball is placed for the receiver.
But does he have the foot down when he catches it? Judgment was the left foot down as he caught it. Yep.
Hard to know. Looks like he was out of bounds, really, Jim.
It really does.
They may have gotten away with one there, but
quarter number 3 with Nebraska leading 42-18. Florida has just snapped that unbelievable streak that no one would have imagined would happen in this game tonight, where Nebraska rattled off some 36 unanswered points. So,
well, all 3 of their tailbacks are over 7 yards per carry average.
Frazier adding more numbers, more yards to those big. Oh, they don't have him yet. Look at Tommy Frazier. How many tackles can one man break? Touchdown. "75 yards, put him over 200 on the night."
Got to tackle well to win this football game. Steve knew, like every good football coach knows, when it comes down to a championship.
His 2nd touchdown run of the night, 14 carries, make it 195, a career high. And this in his final game as the Nebraska quarterback, on his way to a 33-3 record as a starter. Look, it's almost as though Florida thought the whistle had blown, but it hadn't. No one complained about it. I mean, he shook off with 4 tackles. Daniels, Wright, Weary, no one was left. Florida keeps the starting group in at the 36 to start the 4th quarter, driving last time for a touchdown, and Terry Jackson swarmed right away by Terrell Farley and friends. 2nd and 11. And Werfel down for a 7th sack. He's never been sacked that many times in his career. Grant Wistrom.
Grant Wistrom is a great defensive end with excellent speed. They believe that this guy will be the next All-American defensive end at Nebraska.
Well, some of your tips for Nebraska before the game?
Certainly, number 3, break Werfel's rhythm. The Nebraska defense has been able to do that tonight.
And I think points 1 and 2 apply also. Ball control, they've had it, and they've lined up properly also.
They've not given him a cheap touchdown.
How about an interception? 3rd one of the night. Tony Veland. Tony Veland, who at one time harbored hopes of being the starting quarterback at Nebraska. He was the #1 quarterback after the spring practice of '92.
This is just a nice athletic move by Tony Vreeland. The ball was laid up there, and he made the break on it and came up with the big interception. You know, Jim, I think one of the things that you have to keep in perspective is that Florida is the second-ranked team in the country. Danny Werfel is one of the best players ever to play quarterback in the NCAA, and here he is against this defense having a heck of a hard time. I think that speaks volumes about the Nebraska defense.
Leaves after this game tonight. That number 11 will go on to another special player. Jim?
He has been a special one for Coach Spurrier, and look at this. Ball free, still down, and finally recovered by the Cornhuskers. So Jesse Cush came on to punt for the first time tonight. I was beginning to wonder if the starting punter was even going to be able to say that he played in the championship game. I got some players, some athletes.
He's probably the 8th-string tailback.
I'll tell you what, if this went about one more quarter, he'd probably get in the game, and he too probably averaged about 7 yards a run.
Well, Tommy Frazier is just so gifted, and so is Lawrence Phillips. Those are superior athletes. They're hard to tackle. Certainly the protection of Danny Werfel was a major problem tonight in this game.
Nebraska on its way to its 25th straight win, and trying to break the record for most wins in a 3-year period.
Well, this guy came in a man.
Johnny Rutledge does not count as a sack, just a 5-yard loss off of Frazier's total. And 3rd and goal. Phillips with that last effort found the end zone. 3rd and goal at the 15. It's on rolling. Well, Terry, what was that comment about what plays does Florida have to rush with tonight?
Well, the offensive line coach said he didn't like many of the running plays against this Nebraska defense, and you can't blame him.
We call him the starting quarterback. What do you think of tonight's game?
Oh, a great game. I
bet.
I never thought it would be this, but
What's different about this? Your game was a lot different back then. What's different about it?
Well, they're much larger and bigger, and we had to go both ways. We didn't have any specialists, so to speak, so it's a different ball game.
Big run there by Amon Green. Let's check up in the booth, Jim.
Yeah, they've broken another big one here. 42 yards for Amon Green.
You know, it doesn't matter, Jim, which tailback is in the game behind that powerful offensive line, and that's the 2nd-string offensive line in there right now.
Matt last for the freshman Amon Green, who took it for 1,000 yards the rest of the way during the season.
They just keep bringing the tailbacks at you.
I'm telling you. Behringer, touchdown. 62-18. All right, Terry, you were a little nervous about those tiebreaker rules. You want to go over them right now, or is it not necessary?
Oh, Jim, never in my wildest dreams would I have thought.
Anthony keeps. Anthony breaking it free. Riddell Anthony down the sideline. He ran one back against Auburn. He's got one tonight against Nebraska. All I tell my team is to go in when it's your chance to play, 2nd or 3rd team. All I want you to do is play hard. So he has to respect that Nebraska's still playing hard, and his kids did right there too.
Sure they are. They're still playing hard. And Nebraska continues to play hard.
Look at this. They got a chance to pick up 2. It's Christian Peter. Christian Peter, all for naught. The rule in the play dead. Christian Peter goes all the way downfield with the football, but they're going to bring it back. Jared Tomich hit Eric Kresser. So the Nebraska fans who remain unhappy. Well, that looked like a pretty clean fumble, but just put the 6 up for Florida.